Did you know that millions of seniors are sprinkling a super spice into their meals every day, thinking it's a health miracle, but actually risking serious side effects with just one wrong combo? What if that golden turmeric in your cupboard, hailed as a powerhouse for fighting inflammation and boosting memory, could turn against you when mixed with everyday staples? Imagine discovering that three common spices you've used for years might be silently sabotaging its benefits, or worse, causing digestive chaos or nutrient loss. Hey folks, as someone who's seen too many kitchen myths busted the hard way, I'm here to spill the beans on this eye-opening twist that's especially crucial for us over 60. Let's uncover these silent saboteurs together and keep your spice game safe right now. Here's the big reveal. Spice number one is ginger. Yeah, that zesty, warm root we all love in everything from cozy teas to spicy stir-fries. I know. Ginger and turmeric seem like the ultimate power couple, right? They're both anti-inflammatory superstars, and you'd think combining them would double the benefits. But hold on, because this duo can get a little too wild for our systems, especially as we age. Let me break it down for you in a way that doesn't sound like a chemistry textbook. Turmeric's magic comes from curcumin, a compound that's been studied for everything from reducing joint pain to boosting brain health. Ginger, on the other hand, has gingerol, which is fantastic for soothing nausea and firing up digestion. Both are awesome on their own, but when you mix them in high amounts, they can team up in a way that's not so friendly. Specifically, both curcumin and gingerol have blood-thinning properties. They reduce platelet aggregation, which is a fancy way of saying they make it harder for your blood to clot. Now, a little blood thinning can be great. It's why doctors sometimes recommend low-dose aspirin to keep things flowing smoothly. But for seniors, especially those of us on medications like warfarin, aspirin, or other blood thinners, combining turmeric and ginger can push things too far. We're talking increased risk of bruising, nosebleeds, or even more serious issues like internal bleeding. If you've got a condition like low platelet count or you're prepping for surgery, this combo could be a real problem. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine you're whipping up a batch of your famous chicken curry. You toss in a generous pinch of turmeric for that golden glow and some grated ginger for that extra kick. Sounds delicious, right? Or maybe you're brewing a turmeric ginger tea to fight off a cold, like my neighbor Linda does every winter. These are dishes and drinks we make all the time, not thinking twice about the combo. But for some of us, that curry or tea could be setting the stage for unexpected side effects. I'll get personal for a second here. A couple of years ago, I was chatting with my buddy Tom, who's in his early 70s. He's the kind of guy who's always experimenting with health hacks. He started drinking a daily turmeric ginger smoothie because he read somewhere it was great for inflammation. A few weeks later, he noticed he was bruising like crazy, big purple patches from just bumping into the coffee table. He thought it was just getting old, but when he mentioned it to his doctor, they pointed out the turmeric-ginger combo as a likely culprit, especially since he was also on a low-dose blood thinner for his heart. That was a wake-up call for him, and it got me thinking about how many of us are mixing spices without knowing the risks. Now let's talk science for a hot minute, but I promise to keep it simple. Studies, like one from the Journal of Thrombosis Research, 2015, show that curcumin can inhibit platelet function, which is great for reducing inflammation, but risky when paired with other blood-thinning compounds like gingerol. Gingerol works similarly, messing with the same clotting pathways. When you combine them, especially in concentrated forms like supplements or daily high-dose recipes, it's like doubling down on a bet you didn't mean to place. For seniors, our bodies are already more sensitive. Our livers process things slower, and our blood vessels aren't as forgiving as they used to be. So this combo can hit us harder than it would a younger crowd. But here's the good news. You don't have to ditch ginger or turmeric. It's all about being smart with how you use them. For example, if you're making that curry, try spacing out your turmeric and ginger dishes. Maybe use turmeric in your dinner and save ginger for a morning tea. If you're taking turmeric supplements, which are super concentrated, talk to your doctor before adding ginger to your routine, especially if you're on any meds that affect clotting. And if you're a fan of those turmeric ginger shots at the health food store, maybe swap one out for a solo turmeric latte or a plain ginger tea instead. Let me share another quick story. My cousin Sarah, who's 68, loves her homemade soups. She used to throw turmeric and ginger into every pot, thinking she was doing her joints a favor. After learning about this interaction, she started alternating her spices. One day turmeric, the next ginger. She swears she feels just as good, and she's not dealing with random bruises anymore. It's a small tweak, but it made a big difference for her. Now, I'm not saying ginger is the bad guy. I mean, who doesn't love a good ginger snap cookie or a splash of ginger in a stir fry? It's just about knowing when and how to pair it with turmeric. If you're eating these spices in small, culinary amounts, like a pinch here and there, you're probably fine. The trouble comes with consistent high doses, like in supplements or daily health drinks. And for us seniors, it's always better to err on the side of caution. Before we move on, let's talk about one more real-world scenario where this combo sneaks in. Ever go to a restaurant and order a dish labeled anti-inflammatory or immune boosting? A lot of those fancy bowls or smoothies pack both turmeric and ginger for that health halo. Next time, ask your server what's in the mix, or better yet, check with your doctor if you're eating these combos regularly. It's all about staying one step ahead. So that's the deal with spice number one, ginger, the sneaky saboteur that can turn your turmeric dreams into a health hiccup. But don't worry, we're just getting started. Up next, we've got spice number two, and let me tell you, this one's a real curveball that could mess with your digestion in ways you'd never expect. Ready to keep unraveling this spice mystery? Let's go. What if a spice you've been tossing into your meals could turn your stomach into a battlefield when paired with turmeric? All right, friends, we just uncovered how ginger can sneakily mess with turmeric's benefits, especially for us seniors. Now let's shine a spotlight on spice number two, a kitchen staple that's probably sitting in your pantry right now, ready to stir up some digestive trouble if you're not careful. I'm talking about black pepper. Yeah, that trusty grinder you reach for at every meal could be causing more harm than good when mixed with turmeric. Let me walk you through this like we're chatting over coffee, because this one's a real eye-opener. Black pepper and turmeric sound like a match made in culinary heaven, don't they? I mean, who hasn't sprinkled a bit of both on roasted veggies or a hearty soup, thinking they're boosting the health factor? But here's the kicker. For seniors, this combo can sometimes lead to digestive distress or even nutrient malabsorption, and I'm not just throwing around scary words here. Let's break it down in a way that makes sense and keeps it real. The star player in black pepper is piperine, the compound that gives it that sharp, spicy kick. Piperine is famous for boosting turmeric's bioavailability. Basically, it helps your body absorb curcumin, turmeric's golden ingredient, better. Sounds great, right? In fact, you'll see tons of turmeric supplements touting added black pepper for this exact reason. But for some of us, especially as we age, this absorption boost can be too much of a good thing. Piperine can irritate the gut lining, especially if you've got a sensitive stomach, acid reflux, or conditions like irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. When paired with turmeric, which is already a potent spice, it can overstimulate your digestive system, leading to issues like bloating, cramping, or even diarrhea. Here's the science, but I'll keep it quick and painless. Piperine inhibits certain enzymes in your gut, like CYP3A4, which normally help break down and process compounds. This is why it makes curcumin stick around longer in your system. But for seniors, our digestive systems are often less resilient. Think slower motility, thinner gut linings, or medications that already tax our stomachs. When you overload the system with this combo, especially in high doses like supplements or daily heavy-handed seasoning, it can lead to irritation or disrupt how your body absorbs other nutrients, like iron or certain vitamins. A 2018 study in Food and Function noted that while piperine enhances curcumin's effects, it can also increase gut permeability in some people, which is a fancy way of saying it might make your stomach feel like it's throwing a tantrum. Let me share a real-world example. My friend Clara, who's 71, loves her homemade turmeric rice. She'd grind fresh black pepper over it every night, thinking she was doing her joints a favor. But she started noticing stomach cramps and bloating that kept her up at night. At first, she blamed the rice, but after talking to her nutritionist, she learned that the turmeric black pepper combo was likely irritating her sensitive stomach. She cut back on the pepper, and boom, her tummy troubles eased up. It's crazy how something as simple as a spice can make such a big difference. Now, I've got to be honest, I used to be guilty of this too. I'd read all the health blogs saying, add black pepper to turmeric for maximum benefits, and I went all in. But after learning about this, I started paying attention to how my body felt. And let me tell you, dialing back the pepper made my dinners sit a lot better. It's not about ditching either spice, it's about using them wisely. For us seniors, our bodies are like vintage cars, still awesome, but they need a little extra care to run smoothly. So, how do you enjoy black pepper and turmeric without sparking a digestive disaster? It's all about moderation and timing. If you're using turmeric in a dish, try skipping the black pepper every now and then. Maybe season your morning eggs with just turmeric and save the pepper for a lunch salad. If you're taking a turmeric supplement with added piperine, check the label. Talk to your doctor, especially if you've got digestive issues or take meds that affect your stomach, like NSAIDs. And here's a pro tip. Pair turmeric with milder spices like cumin or coriander for flavor without the gut punch. They're gentler on the system and still make your food taste amazing. Another thing to keep in mind is portion size. A pinch of black pepper in a recipe is usually fine. Culinary amounts are way less intense than the concentrated doses in supplements. But if you're like me and love grinding that pepper mill until your plate looks like a starry night, you might want to ease up when turmeric's in the mix. It's all about finding that balance so you can keep enjoying your favorite flavors without your stomach staging a revolt. I know this might feel like a bummer, especially if you're a black pepper fan like I am. There's something so satisfying about that fresh grind, right? But trust me, once you start paying attention to how your body reacts, you'll feel empowered to make smarter choices. It's not about fear-mongering or swearing off spices. It's about knowing your body and giving it what it needs to thrive. Plus, there are so many other ways to jazz up your meals. I've been experimenting with paprika and turmeric lately, and let me tell you, it's a game changer for roasted potatoes. Before we wrap this up, let's talk about why this matters for us seniors. Our digestive systems aren't as forgiving as they were in our 30s. Things like acid reflux, slower digestion, or even medications can make us more sensitive to spicy combos. Knowing about this turmeric black pepper issue is like having a secret weapon to keep your meals delicious and your body happy. And if you're wondering whether you're overdoing it, just check in with how you feel after eating. A little bloating might not just be one of those days, it could be your spices talking. So there you have it. Spice number 2, black pepper, the sneaky culprit that can turn your turmeric dreams into a digestive nightmare. But we're not done yet, folks. Up next, we've got spice number 3, and this one's got a surprising twist that could hit certain seniors harder than others. Ready to keep digging into this spice mystery? Let's do it. All right, friends, we've already unmasked ginger and black pepper as sneaky troublemakers when mixed with turmeric. But now it's time to meet the third and final spice in our lineup of silent saboteurs. This one's a real curveball, especially for us seniors, because it's a spice we often don't think twice about. Let's dive in and uncover cinnamon, the warm, cozy spice that might be hiding a risky connection with turmeric. Grab a seat, because this is going to be like chatting with a friend who's got your back in the kitchen. Cinnamon is one of those spices that feels like a hug in a jar, right? It's in your morning oatmeal, sprinkled on toast, or swirled into a pumpkin soup for that extra fall vibe. Pairing it with turmeric seems like a no-brainer. Think golden milk lattes or spiced baked goods. But here's the thing. For some seniors, especially those with certain health conditions, mixing cinnamon with turmeric can crank up risks in ways you might not expect. Let's break it down so it's crystal clear and doesn't sound like a science lecture. The issue with cinnamon and turmeric comes down to their shared effects on blood sugar and liver function. Turmeric's curcumin is known for helping regulate blood sugar, which is great for managing diabetes or insulin resistance, a big deal for many of us over 60. Cinnamon, particularly cassia cinnamon, the most common type in stores, has a compound called cinnamaldehyde that also lowers blood sugar by improving insulin sensitivity. Sounds like a dream team, right? Not so fast. When you combine these two in high doses, especially through supplements or daily heavy use, they can push blood sugar levels too low, leading to hypoglycemia, a condition where you might feel shaky, dizzy, or even faint. Plus, both spices put a little extra work on your liver, which has to metabolize their active compounds. For seniors with liver issues or those on medications processed by the liver, this combo can be like asking your engine to run a marathon without a tune-up. Let's get to the nitty-gritty science, but I'll keep it short and sweet. Studies like one from Diabetes Care, 2013, show that cinnamon can lower fasting blood glucose, but it also contains coumarin, a compound that, in large amounts, can stress the liver. Turmeric's curcumin is metabolized through the same liver pathways, like CYP2E1 enzymes. So piling them together can overload your system, especially if your liver's already working overtime due to age, medications, or conditions like fatty liver disease. For seniors with diabetes or prediabetes, the blood sugar drop from this combo can be particularly dicey, especially if you're on meds like metformin or insulin. Here's a real-life example to bring it home. My friend George, who's 69 and manages type 2 diabetes, loves his nightly turmeric cinnamon tea. He read online it was a blood sugar miracle, so he went all in. A few weeks later, he started feeling lightheaded and sweaty after his tea, especially if he skipped dinner. His doctor figured out it was mild hypoglycemia, likely from the turmeric-cinnamon combo amplifying his med's effects. George dialed back the cinnamon, and those shaky spells disappeared. It's a reminder that even healthy spices can pack a punch when you're not expecting it. Now, I've got to share my 2 cents here. I love cinnamon as much as the next guy. Sprinkling it on my applesauce is practically a ritual. But after learning about this, I started being more mindful about pairing it with turmeric. It's not that cinnamon's the villain, it's just that our bodies, as we age, don't always handle spice combos like they used to. My liver's been through enough with holiday feasts and the occasional glass of wine, so I'm not about to make it work overtime with a turmeric cinnamon overload. It's like I tell my grandkids, everything's better in moderation, even the good stuff. So how do you keep enjoying cinnamon and turmeric without rolling the dice on your health? It's all about balance and timing. Try using turmeric in savory dishes, like a veggie stir-fry, and save cinnamon for sweet treats, like a morning smoothie. If you're a fan of golden milk, skip the cinnamon sprinkle and go for a dash of nutmeg instead. It's gentler on the liver and still gives that warm flavor. If you're taking turmeric or cinnamon supplements, check those labels. Talk to your doctor, especially if you've got diabetes, liver issues, or take meds like statins that stress your liver. And for those of us with blood sugar concerns, keep an eye on how you feel after meals with this combo. Dizziness or shakiness isn't just getting old. It could be your spices talking. Here's a practical tip. Stick to culinary amounts rather than going overboard. A pinch of cinnamon in your coffee or a dash of turmeric in your soup is usually fine. The trouble comes with concentrated doses, like supplements or daily health drinks packed with both. If you're like me and love experimenting in the kitchen, try pairing turmeric with safer spices like cumin or cardamom for that anti-inflammatory boost without the risk. I've been loving a turmeric cardamom rice dish lately. It's delicious and doesn't leave me worrying about my blood sugar or liver. Let's be real though, figuring this out can feel like navigating a minefield, especially when every health blog says, mix all the spices for superpowers. But as seniors, we've earned the wisdom to know our bodies deserve a little extra TLC. I've learned the hard way that what works for a 30-year-old fitness guru might not work for me, and that's okay. It's about finding what keeps us feeling good so we can enjoy our meals and our lives without unexpected hiccups. Before we move on, let's talk about why this matters for us. As we age, our livers and blood sugar regulation aren't as spry as they once were. Conditions like diabetes, liver sensitivity, or even just slower metabolism make us more vulnerable to spice interactions. Knowing about cinnamon and turmeric is like having a secret map to better health. You can still enjoy your favorite flavors, but you're in the driver's seat. And if you're wondering whether you're overdoing it, just check in with your body and your doctor. They'll steer you right. So there's spice number 3, cinnamon, the hidden culprit that can turn your turmeric routine into a health risk if you're not careful. We've now uncovered all 3 spices to watch out for. But don't worry, we're not leaving you hanging. Up next, we'll wrap it all up with some practical, senior-friendly strategies to keep your spice game safe and delicious. Ready to tie it all together? Let's go. All right, friends, we've just unmasked the 3 sneaky spices, ginger, black pepper, and cinnamon, that can turn your turmeric game from hero to zero if you're not careful. Think you're ready to keep your kitchen safe and your meals delicious? Let's wrap this up with some simple, senior-friendly strategies to enjoy turmeric without the risks, plus a little nudge to spread the word. This is like our final coffee chat, so let's make it count. Here's the quick rundown on why these spices don't always play nice with turmeric, especially for us seniors. Ginger. This zesty root can double down on turmeric's blood-thinning effects, raising the risk of bruising or bleeding, especially if you're on meds like aspirin or have clotting issues. Black pepper. Its piperine boosts turmeric's absorption, but that can irritate sensitive stomachs, causing bloating or cramping, particularly for those with IBS or acid reflux. Cinnamon. Great for blood sugar, but paired with turmeric, it can drop glucose too low or stress your liver, a concern for diabetics or anyone with liver sensitivity. I've seen too many folks like my buddy Tom with his bruising or Clara with her stomach woes. Learn this the hard way. Trust me, a little know-how goes a long way to keep your spice rack from becoming a health hazard. Here's how to keep turmeric in your life without inviting trouble. Space it out. Use turmeric in one meal, like a curry, and save ginger, black pepper, or cinnamon for another. For example, turmeric in your dinner soup, cinnamon in your morning oatmeal. Timing is everything. Go easy on doses. Stick to culinary amounts, a pinch or two in recipes. Skip the heavy-handed shakes, especially if you're using supplements, which pack a bigger punch. Swap smart. Try milder spices like cumin, coriander, or nutmeg with turmeric. I've been loving turmeric and cardamom in rice dishes, tasty and gentle on the system. Check your meds. If you're on blood thinners, diabetes meds, or liver-processed drugs, like statins, talk to your doctor before mixing turmeric with these spices or taking supplements. My cousin Sarah swears by this after her hypoglycemia scare. Listen to your body, feeling bloated, dizzy, or bruised after meals? It might be your spices talking. Keep a food diary to spot patterns like I did when I noticed black pepper was messing with my stomach. These tweaks are small but mighty. They let you enjoy turmeric's anti-inflammatory, brain-boosting benefits without the worry. I've started alternating my spices, and let me tell you, my dinners feel just as flavorful, and my body's thanking me. Here's my call to action, straight from the heart. Don't keep this to yourself. Share these tips with your friends, family, or that neighbor who's always brewing turmeric tea. Post it on your socials, text it to your book club, or bring it up at your next potluck. You could save someone from a health hiccup they didn't see coming. And please chat with your doctor or nutritionist to tailor this to your specific needs. Our bodies are unique, and they deserve that extra care. As seniors, we've earned the right to savor every meal without second-guessing our spices. So let's keep our kitchens vibrant and our health first. Ready to spice things up the safe way? I know I am. Let's do this.